Yo, guys, welcome back to Polynesia. Pretty close to the finish here, and it looks like it's going to be a photo finish, to be honest. Babylon is doing some pretty ridiculous stuff. Number one, they are nearly influential with everyone. We are the only ones they're not, and we've been using great writers and the World's Fair with Golden Age as well to give us absolutely maximum culture. So hopefully we can stay ahead on that. We just bought another great writer. We can get another one in some turns, and we're actually also going to naturally make one here in 11 turns as well. I'm hoping we can keep that under control, making arts everywhere. Other thing though, they are on 72 techs in Information Era, and if they start building some of these wonders, Sydney Opera House, Apollo program, they will be racing through these as well, so they may even be able to get a science victory done relatively soon. On our hand though, we are trying to get the diplomatic victory. We just need to get world ideology through. We already got the United Nations done last session. Unfortunately they're trying to do city-state sanctions and sanction us. I'm probably just going to have to get sanctioned. I would like to nay this if possible, but obviously mainly we just really need to get this through. Otherwise there's no way we're gonna be able to win the game. So that's what's going on for us. I'm gonna keep making diplomats here, do the arts everywhere else to keep the culture ahead, and I kind of changed my mind on the war actually. France and because we would have had to be at war with France and Germany. I just think it would make people hate us more, like all of their mates and stuff as well would dislike us for being at war with them. And like, we don't necessarily need to do the war. It would allow us to get the next great writer at the perfect time in 5 turns, which we can't do right now because it costs 10k faith. But I could just wait a few turns longer. I feel like we'll have enough anyway with this great writer and 2 more, even if they're not absolutely optimal amounts. I think it should be enough. Technically their concert tour will run out, and yeah, like we make 5k a turn and this guy should be giving like 40k or something, and probably the later ones 30-35. So I think hopefully we'll be okay on the culture, but yeah, we just need to try and get the Diplo stuff done. I'll just keep making diplomats here and probably buying them as well. That's the other thing, if we do a war, we would have to upgrade all of our units and stuff instead of just buying diplomats, which is probably what I will do. Maybe we'll make some more diplomats once the World's Fair is over. Yes, other thing, I am sending spies to be diplomats in people's capitals, so potentially we can buy some votes, since the game is going to end soon anyway, so it doesn't matter if we spend a lot of money. Yeah, I guess one other thing I thought of is that if Babylon is going to do space stuff, then we can try and sabotage him. Is really the only way we have of interacting with him, because I don't think declaring war on him does anything. Yeah, we probably fucked up when we gave him our religion. It's actually a pretty good religion, so we kind of just gave him a load of bonuses there. And we should have sanctioned him earlier. We actually could have done that. But I did not foresee this being such a big problem. I thought because Scholars in Residence was up that there was no way anyone would be able to pull ahead particularly. Seems like I was wrong though. Okay. Yeah, lots of great diplomats being used. It's basically because of the United Nations. Everyone got a free great diplomat, so obviously since we were allied with everyone, they're all going to end up being used on people we were allied with. Okay, we did actually make a great engineer here. We're working some funky stuff here, Okay, we don't need to do all of that. Nice. It seemed actually like working production was the best way to increase our culture, because obviously we're doing the arts, so we don't really need science at this point. We literally just need culture, I think. Okay, maybe I just put him here. It's not like this is a very good farm, is it? We don't have the agribusiness anyway. Okay, we need more paper to make a diplomat. Fine. We do have some diplomats out and about. Okay, this guy, looks plausible that we could get that back. Okay, 41k, decent. Don't really know which policy I want. We only have one stadium, so going for media culture would give us about an extra 80 culture per turn. Probably pointless. Free thought doesn't seem bad, actually. What else could we do? Civil society would be reasonable. Arsenal of democracy. We have a load of like random units floating about. We could send them out. Capitalism sounds decent as well, you know. Trying to sort out the happiness, and more gold as well allows us to buy more diplomats. We'd also get the influence when we expend great people. Do you know what? We have quite a few great admirals that we will use. We have the engineer as well. Do you know, I could put down all my great generals at the end also. How many of them do we actually have though? I mean, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking we go for this first, then we go Arsenal of Democracy now. Then we go for this. We can use all of our admirals to get more resources. Which way round should I actually do it? I'm going to do this one first, because we'll get the 25% growth. The more our cities grow, the better, actually. Each time they grow, we get a culture boost, and also increases our culture output. So let's get that done. Let's keep building diplomats. And yeah, we have loads of units we can send, actually. And we can use all of our admirals, get 4 of the resources. Don't know if I want to use this guy here or not. We'll figure something out. So I don't know if I should buy a stock exchange somewhere. Probably not. It does make buying diplomats cheaper, but I don't think we'd get value out of it before the end of the game. Wow, Aztecs actually have so many things we could buy. I wonder if we could get happy. Okay, we'll have the king days over in one turn, probably in a couple of places. Furs. Everyone wants furs. And coffee.
Nistatati. Minuteres.
What are they saying on votes as well then? Okay, they... Yep. So they really want the opposite of us. Do you know what? I might pay them to sanction us. I might actually do that. The thing is, I think if we get sanctioned, then it cancels deals anyway. So if we paid them to sanction us, we would get the money, we would stop having to pay for it straight after. Good mechanics. What? How did I lose a paper? Oh, if I lost an alliance, it counts as a strategic thing. Kinda sucks. Okay, let's do that. Do you know what I might do? Is not send trade routes to city-states for the moment. I'm just going to wait with them. People will be less likely to do the city-state sanctions. Okay, you're going to wait 2 turns before I use you. We can actually do this place quite easily. We definitely want to buy diplomats there. Yeah, that's not enough. Okay. Let's buy the furs then. And the coffee. I already bought that, right? We already had coffee anyway, so it doesn't really make any fucking sense. Yeah, get humbled, mate. Oh shit. I actually forgot about that wonder.
Aeronautics.
Okay, we got all the We Love the King days. Fine. Oh man, that is a rough wonder. 50% of culture turned into tourism, 50% tourism from great works. Plus 2 gold and tourism from great works as well. That is a yikes. Everything's all good here, right? Cool. Yeah, wow. And that, yeah, they build this as well then. 1,000 tourism just from one city. 10,000 per turn. Fucking hell. Okay, we've got to use these guys. 3? I'm not going to do 3. Okay, I think I buy one here next or wherever. Seems good. These guys can't build wells, can they? Actually, I can build. Actually can build wells, so I should, I suppose. Though I needed to buy it. Alright, let's just do it here. So, okay. Okay. Surprised Germany hasn't asked France to stop attacking Buenos Aires. Okay, so now we take Arsenal of Democracy. Now we can use our great people to get us some bonus influence as well with all city-states. What if I was to actually use this guy to do that? Okay, so I can give some units. Does anybody actually need units? No. Didn't seem like that worked. But why not though? Dude, this is... Yes. Okay, maybe I need to remove this guy. Okay, 3 turns, plus 50 influence. Sure. Plus 51 influence. Ah, we do get more for here as well. Cool. Oh, I wanted to give him some zeppelins. Okay, hopefully that actually works. And we actually get the bonus from it. You know what, these guys aren't even going to be in time. I mean, I actually could get that mission done. I think what I should do is buy the votes that I want. Yeah, I actually want them to do this. I mean, this is a fucking weird deal, but yeah. I want them to do that so they don't vote on other stuff. I already bought the votes off. Is that right? I think we have a diplomat here as well. Okay, hell yeah, we'll do that. Can only buy one vote there. I would have thought we'd be able to buy a lot more with a level 3 diplomat. They have 5 votes. I can only buy one. Anyway, we bought that one. I feel like it's plausible that I could buy the end vote off Korea, so I might keep that guy there. I'm gonna move this guy. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Jesus. How are they on 76? I mean, he built the Apollo program, right? But, well. So, yeah, we need to sabotage him, I think. So, let's do a CAD, Nipper, or Sipper, I think. This guy is going to move to Babylon. These guys aren't going to be in time anyway. Do you know what? That guy we will at least get to see. Though no, level 1 actually should definitely go somewhere here. And this guy I might go for a coup with. Somewhere where we're really far away from the influence, so let's say Singapore. Okay. That seems reasonable. We're gonna get that alliance back. Need to send someone down there as well. Maybe competing with Germany is not the smartest. World's Fair is over. It's okay though, we'll still get a pretty good great writer in a couple of turns. Another golden age as well. Yeah, we just keep building these. Alright, well, we can buy diplomats cheaper here now. Could even just build one as well. Okay, you are going to Laza. We'll send it from there actually. Man, he's new tech every turn. Fucking hell. It'll be good to see what he's doing actually though. At least then we know roughly what's going on. Okay, 43. Yep, we can do that. He sent a great musician to me, right? Okay. Did it add on to the original duration then? It seems like it did. I actually didn't know how that worked. Okay. I don't know if that will be enough. Could have just gifted that guy as well. Would have been instant. Okay, so here's the plan. We use all of these. I could technically nick some squares up there with a great general. Doesn't seem like a good idea. Let's just piss him off though. We do want people to like us, really. I mean, I could just use these guys like anywhere. Just for the sake of it. It's actually sad we could have had that alliance as well. Yeah, let's just do this. We should keep that one. I don't think that one diplomat would be enough to get it back for them. Okay. Chill with that guy. Let's crack on with this. Actually, one more thing I need to do. I need to sell all my resources. Actually, we'll buy all of these as well.
Nishtadati Ishime.
Okay.
Bonjour. Tu disais?
안녕하시오. 계속해 보시오.
Bonjour. Continue.
Right. What I'm thinking is, all of those deals will also encourage people to try and sanction us. Instead of these ones. That's my thoughts. We're actually happy as well. Wow. Not bad. So, great generals. I might as well use them in random places that don't really matter. I mean, is a citadel even a good improvement? No, not really. So we'll just put them in the middle of nowhere. There, maybe. Okay. I feel like we've pretty much done everything we can. Aurora, built for the Aztecs. Very cool. Oh, I wonder if he just got the 2 free text policy. 80... Doesn't that basically mean he's done all the texts apart from 1? Wow. Do you know what? I actually think I shouldn't research this, because ambassadors are a lot more expensive than diplomats. Not much more? Well, it says they're the same cost. I thought they costed a lot more, but okay. I'll believe it. We're actually quite close, man. One more diplomat over here. Did the unit gifts arrive? I think they did, right? Okay. Cool. Again, we'll wait with them. And you. This guy can head down here. Okay. Assign delegates. So that is already going to get quite an aid. We're just going to allow that one. Nay on that. Overwhelming, yeah. Yeah. Nay. I'm gonna go like that. Maybe like that. I feel like city-state sanctions would be annoying, but not having the world ideology would be worse. What I have to say though is, where is the travel ban? You know, or where is the space flight regulations? Like, they know that Babylon would be really benefited by that. So why are they just allowing him to win? Whereas for me, they're like going mental trying to make sure that I don't win. Why? What have I done that Babylon hasn't? Or it just doesn't make sense, man. Okay, well, we definitely got sanctioned. That got through, though. Nice. That got an aid. Oh, it was close. Germany didn't want it, which is good. And we got sanctioned, which I believe means that we got our deals cancelled anyway. See, that is smart right there, man. We paid Babylon to sanction us. Okay. Okay, perfect. That I was a bit worried about, whether everything would actually work out for us there. So now we can send these trade routes as well. We were just trying to pretend like we weren't actually that interested in trading with the city-states. And all of our other trade routes are going to be cancelled anyway, right? So, oh, I mean, we're already trading with all of the city-states. Fair enough. Yeah, we lost all of our other franchises. I honestly think that it's okay. Just going to use him there preemptively. We'll get that mission done too. And yeah, we'll send guys over here. So we are still a bit ahead. Thank God. Yeah, they must have done every tech now. Maybe not future tech yet, I suppose. Okay, we'll see what's going on in their cities next turn. I'm gonna chill with these guys. You're going in there. Well, he'll probably die. I wonder if it will last for 10 turns. So... Now I can send diplomats in here, which I should do. We actually have some spare faith as well. I guess I'll probably buy a great scientist at some point, so I could buy a missionary. We could even maybe actually do this conversion before the end. But either way, we can do some of that. We should try... Yeah, we'll send diplomats over to there. Cool. I mean, can he actually build all the spaceship stuff in 10 turns? That is really the question. Sydney Opera House. Everyone hates us now as well, including Babylon. Maybe I shouldn't sell all of my units. Might be encouraging things that we don't want. Let's actually build that. Okay. I keep building diplomats, to be honest. Actually, also... Wow. Fucking hell, mate. That is quite some money. I guess it is for 5 votes. So 40k per vote. It's basically like 500 gold per vote. Who are they actually... Okay, they prefer Babylon or France to win. And they would charge 14k, so like 300 gold per turn. Actually, yeah, it would be 1,000 gold per turn per vote for us. Maybe that is a bit much. But 300 gold per turn probably for them. Per vote. That's probably too much as well. Okay, maybe I'll reduce that. That was just my guess of how much stuff could be worth. But maybe they're just not really that keen about anyone actually winning it, so that's why it's all quite expensive. I mean, we're plenty ahead there. I'm just going to use them here so that I can build another one. You can go back to that. Okay, we're actually in some of these cities then. They're building CERN. See, building CERN is not that useful. Nor is building that. You need to actually build the spaceship parts, man. Which it seems like he's not doing. Well, yeah, we're gonna go for this. mean, it's so pathetic. 175 production. What is the point, man? Why couldn't I steal great works as well? It is rather annoying. Oh, we're actually going to do that next turn. Nice. Okay, what policy do I go for? I could actually go for some coups, you know. There is this policy. Chance of rigged elections and coups in city-states doubled. One or more additional spies. One additional spy. So now, 40%. Okay. Well, this feels pointless, honestly. We can try and do some more coups. Jerusalem would be a great place to do a coup. Vancouver, we actually should be okay. We can't do a coup for 20 turns. We might as well try Kiev, I guess. Really, we want it to be the level 3 guys. Do that. Okay, Jerusalem. I'm pretty sure the level 3 guys have a better chance. Maybe not, you know, let's fucking find out actually. You can go to Kiev. Okay, we need to use some of these diplomats so that we can buy some more. Tourism, I think we're okay on, because we actually, you know, we got 9 turns, but if we just survive like, you know, 1 or 2 more turns, they won't be able to have time to build the thing anyway. Also, we got 5 extra votes from the world ideology, so we're way above what we need. Just keep the diplomats coming out, and we should be good. Okay, I'm fairly optimistic. If he's not building space parts as well. What? How did he? What? He just started on that. Oh no, that was Ashurbanipal building that. I thought it was Babylon building bloody Hubble.
The unleashed power of the atom is chipped.
Okay, so it is still reasonable amount. Fair enough. I shall go for that. Not that it really matters. We'll try and make that happen, I suppose. Vancouver, we are back to being allies with. Mombasa, we can send loads of dudes towards. Nice. Okay, that's probably where I'm going to send this guy. I really need to use some of them. Okay, let's go somewhere in Babylon with him then. Maybe there is still something worth doing. I mean, he must start building stuff. Another great writer next turn as well. And the musician. Cool. Don't really want a war. Just want to chill. Do my thing. So they've all denounced Babylon as well, right? Oh no, they haven't. Okay. It cannot be fair because anytime you get close to winning, everyone hates you. But Babylon is like right on the border of winning and has been for a while and has 3 defensive packs. How is this possible? Okay, you are gonna come down here. Nice. Let's do that. Yeah, definitely want that place, since it's the most at risk of being taken. Ah, now we... Oh, shit. Now I need one of... that's why I didn't want to go ambassadors. Well. Okay, let's try and build one of these here. Quickly. Doesn't seem like it's going to take 4 turns. Go on, let's do one here as well. Yeah. We need them so that we can actually buy diplomats. Okay, let's do it here as well. Dude is ready. Okay, we can try Mombasa then. Give him a boat. He's actually gonna fucking die, man. Oh. It's gonna be 2 votes down the drain. I actually can give him a boat. Alright, let's do that. You can have my Blitz Ironclad. I'm sure you'll use it well. Let's do some missionaries here as well. We're way above the votes. We would have to lose 4 allies to not be able to do it. We're going to lose 1, but we can try and get Kiev and Kyzyl anyway. And hopefully we will get a successful coup also. Don't really know what Babylon's doing still. But it doesn't seem like he's building parts. And yeah, you can't do that. Cool. Maybe I should just build some. Okay, what I can do... Is that seriously not enough? Get them in 2 turns, then we can buy diplomats quickly. This place is going to be too slow anyway, I believe. Dude, piss off, man. Oh, wow. An actual war. Do you know what? I probably should have made some more military units. Just to try and make sure we don't actually die. Alright, this guy is helping a bit. Should I tell you what, maybe 1 turn away from the end, we quickly liberate Buenos Aires. So that we get an extra 2 votes. If we're desperate, we will do that. More. Can you get there in time? Yes, I believe you can. Yeah, that's not going to happen. use the missionaries here. Cool. Yep, we want that. Can't actually get that jade. Okay, yeah, 1 turn for these places. Oh, I can actually defend it a bit just by chilling with the units as well. It kind of stops them from being able to do anything. And if I... Okay, I should have done this earlier. I should surround the city. Then they actually can't conquer it. You stand there. Cool, I think I get a great scientist now, right? Basically, it seems like you can't gift units. There's a worker underneath them. Yeah, let's do some final unit gifts. Send them a Tercio. And Mombasa and like Vancouver and stuff. Actually, most of our units are reasonable now. Cool. So I should build flipping units, man. This is dumb. Working these art for no real reason, to be honest. Right, we're fine on culture. Shit, okay, we can buy some now. So let's not bother making one here. Machine guns everywhere. Okay, so another policy as well. Nothing can really help us now. I want to get civil society just because I want it. But capitalism probably makes sense as well. Bit less unhappiness. So yeah, I think if I just stand like this, I believe that now they literally cannot take the city. I don't know, maybe they could use a land unit in the sea? Is that allowed? But like they can't attack it with melee units. Pretty legit stuff, man. Okay, our science has really speeded up now as well. So, where can you actually get to? Okay, we can try some coups, but we'll just wait until the last moment. To see if we actually need to. We might be able to get that conversion done, you know. Eight turns for the actual election rigging. Yeah, that would be too late. All of these would be too late, actually. Basically everywhere is too late, apart from... I mean, we're safe there. Well... Okay. I will... just use him here. We'll build that guy. Nice. 51 still relatively safe. Relatively. And what about one last great person? Nah, so we'll just do the missionaries then. From here. Sorry for longing this out, just don't want to fuck it up and lose at this point. Sidon.
مصر السخية تقدم لك هذا العرض.
2 declarations of friendships gets me an extra vote, actually. Okay, that works. Let's be golden aging forever. They are actually building it. Okay. It took them a little bit of time to actually start. But they are now, so that's good. Technically we will slow it down by like 100 production. So good, dude. Alright, you can do it. Maybe. Okay, we got one more. Should be able to do it. So, like that. Need 2 paper. Okay. What about these guys? I might need to send one of them over here, right? Probably not, actually. Oh shit, we already got the alliance with Mombasa as well. So move once, end turn, then we have 2 left. Move twice, end turn, then we have 1 left. So actually 3 turns is okay. We got these great people to use as well. Just as we get to the finish. That actually gives him bonus production on space stuff. I think in all cities, or is it just in that city? What? Nah, mate. Nah, mate. Come on now. Pretty close here. Fairly close. In quite a few of these places, actually. Okay, I don't know if I'll use that guy this turn or not. Might not be able to get that alliance. Oh yeah. Okay, probably not necessary. Alright, we're way above anyway. I don't know how we suddenly went up so much. Six from World Wonders? How is it 6? Wasn't it 4? Don't know. Done. No. Well, either way, we should be fine. How is he getting along? 4 turns. Worrying. Nice. What's going down then? He's building a missile cruiser. Doesn't seem so smart. Okay. Yeah, I'll just build this anyway. So let's do that and that. Don't think we're actually going to have that one. Can you coup in a city you already have? No. Fine. Well, that's the closest one, so we'll do that. I believe we're safe on all of them. So, last thing to do, use all these guys. Ten influence from each of them everywhere. Yeah, we can't get that jade. Oh well. How do we actually finish this one off? Don't think there is much to really do. Wow though. Yeah, and he was at 93% still. I mean, I don't think there was much more I could have done on the culture stuff. Probably a great writer from somewhere. 16 turns. 19 turns. Jesus, though. It looks like... Actually, it won't even end this turn. We still gotta actually do the vote. Oh shit, I forgot to do the coups. Do it. Fuck. We tried. It was like 10% or something. Babylon did end up at war with Korea, Babylon, Korea, France, Germany. So I feel like Aztecs declared war on Germany with Assyria, right? That seems like what happened. Oh, let's actually get the factory done. That would be lovely. Feel pretty bad for these cities that never got to finish them. Okay. Oh, we only need 44 as well, I guess, because city-state been killed. Fair enough. Do you know what? It's definitely possible for 2 people to win. I honestly have no idea what would happen in that situation. Like, if Germany and a couple of other people voted for Germany. Neutral. Polynesia. Nah, I don't think they'll vote for us. We'll see though. Jesus, dude. Are we cool now? Nice. Scary stuff, man. Very scary stuff. Korea getting eaten. Agent Francois. I wonder where he's from.
You have triumphed over your foes through the art of diplomacy. Your cunning and wisdom have earned you great friends, and divided and sown confusion among your enemies. Forever will you be remembered as the leader who brought peace to a weary world.
That feels good, man. Real tough at the end, but we got it done. Demographics. Wow, we actually ended up top food, even ahead of Babylon, which is unexpected. Manufactured goods. Yeah, second. I mean, we were not too bad on stuff. Could have built more troops if we wanted. We were 4th on tech, though. Bottom on approval. Happiness doesn't really feel like a big issue now that it doesn't affect military unit production, although I think it does again next patch anyway, so. But that was why I just didn't really care about it this game. Just keeping it above 35 was like my main concern. Okay, yeah. Let's watch this. Not this. Let's have a look at the map. So, we are Polynesia, Egypt next to us, France kinda next to us, Aztecs, Germany, Korea, Assyria, and then Babylon is going to be like here. So, yeah, I kind of, we were really close to Egypt straight away. Could see that, so I just kind of decided to go aggressive on them. There was a natural wonder there as well, Kilimanjaro, giving the double movement in hills, so I really wanted that. And then the city on the right was next to the Mount Kalish, helped us with religion. Yeah, I guess I kind of forward settled France as well, so I basically ended up pissing off both of them, which is never really what you want. And we did end up having to war them. I did some good great generaling though on Egypt, as always, to make it easier. The France war was a bit rough for a while, but we sorted it, and then Egypt eventually conquered them. And then just did the Diplo stuff really, with all trying to get as many city-state alliances as possible. And other stuff like building wonders and that. Some stressful Congress sessions. I think Korea started getting conquered towards the end. But other than that, not a huge amount happened in the world. Yeah, they were actually already getting conquered. From here, they owned these. And then Aztecs started eating them. So they definitely would have died at some point. A lot of wars between Aztecs and France as well. I guess there's some citadeling going on. Aztecs were a lot stronger than France, but they never actually managed to break through. I'm sure we could have taken some French cities when we were at war with them, actually. But we didn't. Okay, graphs. Yeah, when we conquered Egypt we were ahead, but since we stopped and Aztecs kept expanding a bit, we ended up behind. Maybe I could have put some more cities out later on. Just thought we had a nice area where we were. So, number of techs. Babylon just so ridiculous. Once they got order and all of that stuff. I mean, it's weird how it just suddenly shot up at the end. Like, you get the free text from order, and you get a free scientist as well. And they had the food corporation, which is very good. But I'm a bit surprised. Yeah, we were a bit behind on policies, even with all the Moy statues, but ended up joint first with Babylon, I assume. Wow, we're like almost identical actually at the end. World's Fair was obviously pretty big for that, but everyone was pretty high on policies. Did anybody else? Yeah, it's mad, like Assyria and Germany were still quite a bit ahead of us. I mean, they had the help from scholars in residence. Babylon didn't even have that, and he just went that crazy at the end. Okay, he did actually have higher science as well. 3,000 per turn is a lot, because he only had like 8 cities as well. Very impressive stuff. Like, we're all on similar in here. Germany's was pretty good, you know. Fair enough. Tourism per turn. Food per turn, we actually ended up higher thanks to their urbanization policy. Babylon should have really done a load of internal trade routes with his corporation and the order thing, but I don't know if he would have done that. Dunno, man. That's most of the good graphs though, I think. Yeah, Aztecs were top on that. Gold per turn, we were pretty good on actually. Statecraft and progress is pretty good for that. Fair enough. So he was one turn off finishing that. Where was he at with the other stuff? Yeah, a bit sad really. I mean, I think we would have won anyway unless he was like majorly organised with it. But like, it's sad that he didn't even try and build everything. Like, what is the point of building these? Just win the game, mate. But yeah, I think we would have won it anyway. We were just about in time. Another 10 turns, probably not. But we got everything done as quickly as possible, and we used the fact that he was ahead in science to allow us to do the proposals. I feel like basically, if you want to beat a science victory as a Diplo victory, you pretty much only have one shot at it. Like, you need to, once somebody gets to fission, is the game likely to go on for 30 more turns? Maybe just about, if you can slow people down a bit. And I guess if it's you that gets there and you get there by rushing, but if it's just that you get it because somebody else has it, like, you'll only have one shot. So you'll have to make sure you get United Nations done, World Ideology done, and then win the vote all in one go, with no failures. But obviously we had a lot of votes, so we did manage to do that stuff. Yeah, general story of the game. There was a lot that went on actually. Started off, actually went for Plains Pantheon. With the help from Mount Kalish, a lot easier to get a religion with it. and it is generally the best pantheon. We didn't really have any fish, so usually you'd want to go God of the Sea with Polynesia. But plains seemed good. I definitely feel like ancestor worship is worth considering now to culture and faith from councils, and we had the unique council as well that we wanted to build early. So that could have worked too, but I just felt like we had pretty good land. It was all grassland and stuff. It works well with the plains pantheon, building the moist statues everywhere on top of mostly grass and stuff. So yeah, and it probably was the best. This founder belief is really insane. It helped us in a number of ways, obviously mostly for the city-state influence, but also it actually helped us become influential with people on tourism, and that meant that our trade routes were better, which is like one of the key ways of catching up really. Now that spy tech stealing is basically gone, it's good to be able to get influential on whoever's the tech leader that you're sending loads of trade routes to, because you get even more science and food and stuff from your trade routes. So yeah, Honolulu ended up being massive. Would have been even better in a tradition thing, and obviously just works well with statecraft. To be honest, statecraft was quite weak. I feel like the biggest benefit from it was shadow networks. Where that science from scholasticism, we actually had pretty much that from quite a while ago. Obviously it's not that much right now, but it was for a bit. And obviously with the founder you're able to get that bonus much quicker. But yeah, I wouldn't say statecraft was actually that great other than that. Like one extra delegate, so 2 basically. The spies seemed pretty useless. We were doing a lot of quests, and the diplomats were probably good. Global monopolies, I don't know that any of them were that great, and the finisher is also not amazing. I don't know if we got to build any world wonders thanks to that finisher, but the every World Congress session gain culture, science and gold. You basically don't get that much. Probably, like, we took the fealty opener so that I could use more missionaries. Might have even been better off just finishing off fealty, because it also delayed us finishing off rationalism quite a bit. The fact that we were kind of had 1 policy here and then 6 there. Maybe I didn't even need to finish off statecraft. Maybe that was the mistake. But I think I wanted the delegate to help me become host, and then, or propose something, and then needed the trade route as well. Yeah, but yeah, so big war with Egypt. Super useful was the Narasuans we got from Belgrade. That basically helped us defend Tonga. France attacked us at kind of an annoying time when I wasn't fully ready for it, and basically ended up using the Narasuans as just like a unit that we put in the city to increase the defense of it, because they have like 27 combat strength, and then had ranged units behind, and then had 1 galleass as well that could actually come out and shoot. So it did work quite well. It was like minimum possible units but maximum defense. I like that, having a really strong unit as the garrison actually. I'll try and remember to do that in future. Like even a knight would have been pretty good. Because usually you do get attacked in medieval, so you want like the strongest medieval unit you can have to be garrisoning your city. And Narasuans is pretty much the best there is for that. Other thing, Sidon actually had great bombards. Did major damage to Egypt. I'm sure we would have got the war one anyway, but it was obviously much nicer to just be able to... I basically just put a great bombard here and shot Memphis like 3 or 4 times, and it fell like that. Definitely helped to get the war done quicker. And obviously the founder helped us to actually get those alliances as well. Otherwise I would have had to buy diplomats and stuff, which is quite difficult to do early on because they're quite expensive for what they give. But just being able to send out a couple of missionaries that got like 40 or 60 influence each really helped us get both of those, which helped with the wars. So after that, I actually went for the Reformation belief. Well, we went for orders and pagodas. Pretty sure they were correct. The orders was really good. Working with the founder belief, we were getting a lot of faith that we could put into missionaries. Let's actually come back to from right at the start. I went to mathematics first so that I could build hanging gardens. Probably wasn't good, I have to say. It seemed like there was a lot of good squares that we could work, like the dyers plantations were actually good as well as all the Mo statues, so that was why. But I think in hindsight we would have been better off just going for writing or sailing, and getting the fraternity and the Koas up. I haven't mentioned them, but they were also really good as a support unit for the army. Definitely helped us win some of the wars, particularly the one with Egypt. Actually, they were hard to use against France, but definitely against Egypt. They do basically a guaranteed extra 20 damage, which is pretty awesome. But basically, the hang-on's okay, but it pretty much took away any possibility of us getting Borobudur. Getting Borobudur would have made this game a bit of a walk in the park. We could have sorted religion so much easier, and sorted all the city-states so much easier as well. And like been doing tourism and stuff. We could have easily converted Babylon, Germany, and France over to our religion with that, I think, if we'd had Borobudur. And then we could have got world religion easier and would have had more votes and stuff. I mean, possibly we wouldn't have got it anyway, so it would have been a waste. But yeah, I don't know. It felt like we were a lot slower on science than we should have been, and I think that was mostly because I went for mathematics first. Yeah, I don't think we got any of the other medieval wonders or anything. Oh, we did build Stonehenge so that we could get... I was thinking I was going to go for the council one, since you get the free council. This didn't really do that much, I don't think. But I guess it's nice to have an extra bonus at the start. Yeah, chivalry, we had the Maoris, they have the fear. Thing is, we had the elephants anyway, which were already giving like 10% fear. These give 15%. Doesn't stack. So it wasn't a big difference. They were alright though. Definitely not like a particularly impactful unit, but they're there. And I guess it's nice to be able to go chivalry instead of steel for your infantry unit. And they don't need iron, but... because yeah, when you're getting attacked you want to build the castles. And usually stables are pretty good as well. So yeah. The follower beliefs were good. Enhancer helped us to actually convert people to our religion when we were doing all the missionaries, which was nice. Pagoda's always good. Orders gave loads of faith. Reformation belief, I think, was a mistake. I kind of knew it was. I was basically thinking I shouldn't go Glory of God because I do it every game, and we should be able to get the diplomatic victory without it, which we did, but Glory of God would have been much better, I think, mostly because it would have allowed us to go industry instead of rationalism. Like, you always really want to be able to buy great scientists, although they didn't really do anything for us this game, so maybe I could have gone industry anyway, but you want to have that option, I think. And the 2 additional trade routes at the start, I didn't actually remember that change, but that is really good. Why did this get moved back onto division of labour? It does not work out with timings. You'll rarely have this policy by the time you're building train stations and seaports. Like, it was good when it was on the opener. Now it's one of those another annoying ones where it means you have to wait to build stuff. A bit like this, it's actually rare if you go armories first, that, or even castles first, that you'll have this policy by then. I don't know why these things happen, but yeah, 2 extra trade routes would have been really good. We were getting so much science from trade routes with Babylon. It was basically the only thing keeping us up to date at all, and I didn't realise we would have got an instant +2. Yeah, and we would have just had more of every yield, honestly. We would have had more culture and science, probably. Like, maybe not science, but I don't think it would have actually been close, because mercantilism gives quite a bit. Yeah, more gold, more production. Yeah, just more of everything, really. More happiness as well. A nice wonder. And if we'd had Glory of God, we could have bought those scientists earlier. The thing is, like, this area of the game is so important. Eiffel Tower, corporations, and then the wonders that give you the free policy. Empire State Building is decent as well. These are all like really good wonders that you want to have to help you late game. The Food Corporation is massive. And yeah, as many of them as you can get as possible is good. So this is the point where you really need the great scientists. Brandenburg Gate as well if you're going military stuff. And I feel like usually you won't have rationalism finished in time to help you with all of that stuff, even in a different game. But we definitely didn't this game, because we were like 1 policy behind, because we took fealty opener. So by the time we got the great scientists, we didn't even need them. I thought we might need them to get to fission or atomic theory for the proposals, but Babylon was already there anyway. But yeah, if we had got to corporations first and built the Food Corp, we wouldn't have had this problem that we did with Babylon, I believe. And then Germany also took Giorgio, which would have been the second one I went for. Ended up having to go for Pharaxite, which was reasonable with the trade routes, but by the time we got it, the science wasn't useful compared to, say, the culture. So yeah, Glory of God would have been much better. We would have had much more spare production to build like diplomats and stuff as well. If we had industry, just would have been good all around, really. So I think that was definitely a mistake there. I suppose the free tech was good. That did allow us to actually get Statue of Liberty. Yeah. Went for freedom. Incredibly glad I did that. I think we would have lost this game if I went for order, actually. Which I really wasn't thinking at the time, but it would have helped Babylon have more tourism with us. Because there's one of the policies gives bonus tourism for other order civilizations. And you just generally get the bonus. It doesn't seem like they took that policy actually, but yeah, they would have had more tourism with us, and we wouldn't have had as good culture as we did. A lot of our culture came from having universal healthcare, and all the extra food that we got from urbanization to help the cities grow. And then the writers and stuff. I don't think there is much bonus culture in Order, from what I can remember. It's mostly bonuses to science and production. But freedom helped us stay ahead, and it gave us 8 additional delegates as well, thanks to the transnationalism thing, which for some reason has gone up to 10. Oh no, we get 2 from the statecraft one, and then 8 from treaty organization. And probably did help us keep some alliances with some of the other policies as well. I don't think there's any bonuses to influence in Order, so definitely that was correct, I think. Yeah, and then after that, just did the World's Fair. Probably made some mistakes in Congress as well. I mean, Congress, obviously, it's a lot easier in hindsight than it is at the time, but I could have actually got world religion through, and instead I put all my votes into me not getting sanctioned. But it turned out people weren't actually as against me as I thought, and I could have got both of the things that I wanted. Also, I actually think I had the option to sanction Babylon, and I didn't do it because I wanted to keep my trade routes with them, which were giving a lot. Probably should have done it because we were probably giving them stuff from trade routes as well. Yeah, and I mean, you'd think it would slow them down if they got sanctioned. I just didn't know it was going to be such a problem. And it was a vote where I voted on historical landmarks anyway, which was, to be honest, pointless, and maybe even helped them more than it helped me. So some mistakes there, but we got the really important stuff right. Like, we got the United Nations and the world ideology, and obviously won the host vote, and managed to avoid city-state sanctions and decolonization, and being sanctioned until right at the end, where I didn't mind about it. I'm so shocked that, because look, everybody knows how badly this would affect Babylon, but they just don't seem to really care. They were just way more interested in trying to sanction me and decolonize me, which I'm sure that obviously is very bad for us, but yeah, and city-state sanctions as well. But I'm just surprised that they weren't trying to mess with Babylon a bit more. Everyone was really good mates with them. Right until the end. Well, Assyria they ended up at war with because of a defensive pact with Germany, but why was Germany so good mates with Babylon? They're neighbours, different ideologies. Babylon's trying to win the game. I guess we were doing all the city-state stuff and that was pissing them off, but yeah. Other thing, I actually spent so much faith giving Babylon my religion, and probably just ended up helping them, giving them an extra tourism modifier with us, and also a good religion. So that was pretty funny. I guess, yeah, to be honest, when we got to Renaissance and I had pretty much every city-state ally, I was this game is over. We are easily going to have enough votes, and there's no way that somebody is going to get either of the victories done before, because we can just push all the vote stuff through as quickly as possible, and there's no way someone will reach science before you can get all the things through. And tourism, I guess I was mildly worried about, but I thought Babylon probably doesn't actually have that good tourism because they're more about science. But they definitely proved me wrong. Ended up being by the skin of our teeth with the World's Fair. We did that pretty well. I mean, we could have had some better timed great writers, but we would have had to plan ahead quite a lot earlier. I should have probably had some more guilds up earlier as well. Just felt like a real struggle to get everything built. I thought we'd have good production because we just have the moist statues everywhere, but I guess they don't really give that much. And like I said, rationalism is not really the same as industry in terms of giving you production. Also, I had a war with France where I could have conquered them. It was before they had arsenals and I actually had ironclads. I could have conquered a couple of their cities, maybe even vassalized them. But I kind of didn't go for it because I thought it would be a lot of effort for not that much reward, but in hindsight, probably would have been good. Probably would have, given us more culture to fend off Babylon. And we actually needed some like coal, and could have had the marble to help get a monopoly on that actually as well. And maybe could have handed off some of these cities to city-states. But in the end, I could have built some more units, but I was just trying to build other stuff. Definitely, if we'd gone industry or imperialism, we probably could have done more with that war as well. So that would have been another benefit of that. Whatever though, we got the job done. I hope you all enjoyed that series. I feel like it was a pretty good one. I don't know if I messed it up a bit by doing the Babylon one as well, kind of in between. I feel like we lost a bit of the... I don't know. It wasn't like the number one priority on my mind, so I wasn't necessarily so deep into it as some of the other ones, so I'll try not to do that again. Also, I had some other stuff that I was doing. IRL. But yeah, that was cool. So, next series. Everyone asked me to play France because I dissed them quite strongly. I'm happy to do that. I've been thinking up some strats for them. I want to do some practice to see if I can actually get it to work. I think we can do a good game with them though. But man, I don't know if I need to turn down the late game, because that was ridiculous. Like, yeah, that just seems crazy. I don't know how we could have won. In a lot of scenarios, like if we had been going for a science victory, I feel like that would be such a difficult one to beat. But I suppose we would have slowed them down by nicking some of the wonders and that. And if we'd had a bit of better science earlier, we could have taken the corporation of them. I guess it was kind of just like everything came together for them. They got some good wonders, good corporation, good policy tree, with a good civ, and it all just like came together for them very well at the end, when they had big bonuses from the era modifier. I do have an idea of how I could fix it a bit, which is the era modifier currently works that it depends on what era that civilization is in. But what I could do is change the era modifier to work off like an average of their game era. So the average era that everyone is in, which right now, wow, a lot of people ended up in information actually, but it would still be atomic, I think, and probably would have been modern until fairly recently. So Babylon wouldn't have got even more benefit from getting ahead, which is kind of how it works now. And the other guys who are behind would have had some help in catching up as well. So that is something I could try. That would require quite a big DLL change, which might not work so well with like having to do a new one for each version as well. I imagine it will create some conflicts because I would need to add in a lot, like a new function to keep track of the game era. And then change all the calls to era to be to the game era as well. But I don't know. There's some other stuff I could do, like I could stop the per era modifier thing from going on further than like say modern era, because it's probably not necessary after that point to do the era modifier. I could just reduce it as well. I mean, we still won though. I don't know how difficult people want it to be, really. Like, we still won, but then again, I spend a lot of my life playing this game, so I don't know if it should be this hard. Yeah, other than that, I do plan to do some live streams as well, for sure. Maybe I already did one, depending on when this comes out. I hope to see you there though, guys, and make sure you subscribe if you enjoy the videos and that. And yeah, I will see you all soon.